What's going on, everybody? It's just another day in the kitchen, back with another episode, and in today's video we're taking a look at the latest Yeezy merch updates, including the addition of Kanye's iconic Yeezy GAP merch collection for $20. Now before we get started, I wanted to give a special shout out to the homie Strain Beats, who's been cooking up the beats for these videos, and while you're here you might as well drop a like and subscribe and join our free Discord to stay up to date with the latest and the greatest. Shout out to all of my chefs in there and the homie Sire. Now, if you didn't know, Kanye's history with the Gap actually runs deep, with him first being an employee with them pre-fame and later of course having a collaboration, but not before getting some adversity.
You know, I went to the Gap and I said, let me try to do something, and I couldn't get past the politics. And I'm like, I'm telling you, I got it. I know it. I can do it. Give me a shot. You know, our first night we sold 83,000 tour merch, you know, in one night. So imagine if you take these type of thoughts and connect it with a corporation like the Gap. You know, it's not that I don't want to be a part. I do want to be a part. I just want a shot to take my perspective, because a lot of people have an opinion, but I've been building a perspective.
And speaking of perspectives, when looking at this clip from an interview from 10 years ago, I think it's safe to say when Kanye plans on doing something, he actually plans on doing it. And as many of you know, he would eventually go on to have his historic Yeezy GAP collection around 2020. Now, as you can see from the following footage, the Yeezy GAP collection for $20 has officially been uploaded to Yeezy.com. And if you're watching this video and you're wondering why you're not able to view this yourself, unfortunately it's currently not available in the United States and Canada. So for all of my international viewers and chefs, I'm honestly super jealous, and I hope that all of you are able to pick up the pieces that you'd like. And speaking of international fans, let us know in the comments how the shipping works out for you, because on the original $20 Vultures merch collection, I did see a lot of comments where people mentioned that shipping was upwards of $70 to $80. And for those of you that are going to be picking up these Yeezy GAP pieces for the first time, I do have to say from my own personal experience that you guys are in for some good quality material. So again, picking up a piece from this collection if it was available here in the States would definitely be a no-brainer. Now, while I was doing the research for this video, I did actually learn that this collection that's currently available for $20 was supposed to be released as part of the Winter 2022 Yeezy GAP campaign, which would go on to be scrapped in September of 2022 following Kanye's departure from the Gap, and something we'll cover a little bit later in this video. Now, like I mentioned earlier in the video, I do have some personal experience with the Yeezy GAP collection, having picked up the perfect hoodie in the past. And as you can see on the reselling platform StockX, there are some pieces from the previous collection that are currently available, with some pieces running up to over $200, so I'm curious what the long-term effects of this Yeezy GAP collection for $20 will have on the overall resale market. Because if anything, you may be able to scoop up a dope piece as people begin to panic sell in anticipation of what else will end up being restocked, so definitely keep an eye on websites like StockX if you plan on picking anything up. Now, interestingly enough, and speaking about Vultures merch, I also wanted to point out that at tonight's Vultures listening party in Milan, Italy, there are currently pieces of merch that are available for €40, which is currently double the price that's available on his website. And while I'm unsure what the quality of these listening party pieces is and if it's any different from the $20 pieces available on Yeezy.com, I do want to mention this preview, which shows that they're produced in the United States. And if you're watching this video surprised that Kanye would even discount the Yeezy GAP collection, I wanted to share the following clip with you.
Down to earth as much as I could, because Gap didn't take it to $20 the way I wanted to, because they were still trying to protect the classism of the idea of Balenciaga and the idea of Gap, or the idea of a Gap and Ye collaboration and Balenciaga collaboration. My thought is to take it and bring it, I mean, let's take it and get it to free, but at least get it to $20. So I'm a bit of a Robin Hood.
Now, the Yeezy GAP era, although short-lived, was still pretty unique and had its own unique rollout with its own controversy attached, with some people complaining about the way that Kanye and his team presented these pieces, as you guys can see here. And although Kanye had some dope plans for innovating the Gap by collaborating with high fashion brands such as Balenciaga, things unfortunately didn't work out, as he explains in the following clip right here.
Well, it was always a dream of mine to be at the Gap and to bring the best product possible to the masses. And I always talk to them about doing products for $20, like the best product in the world, uh, designed at the same level of the top fashion houses in the world at $20 for the people. And so we went through 3 years, and obviously there's always like struggles and back and forth when you're trying to build something new and integrate teams. So we designed an entire collection, and actually I wasn't able to set the actual price that I wanted for this collection. And then they actually took one of the shirts and sold it for $19. So didn't price my stuff. Priced my stuff at like 200 and above their whole price point normally, and then did the exact shirt for $20. Also, they did pop-ups, and I signed on with them because they had in the contract they said they were going to do stores, and they just ignored us about building stores constantly, and it was very frustrating. It was very disheartening because I just put everything I had. I put all of my top relationships. I went and got Dimna, the head designer of Balenciaga, which is one of the hottest brands in the world, to come. He does couture, and with that relationship, he ended up working on a Gap collection for me. There are a lot of like things, colorways that I didn't approve. There's a lot of places that the product went to, certain sites where it was like they were just dog and pony and the idea around town. And sometimes I would talk to the guys, the heads up, the leaders, and it would just be like I was on mute or something. And they totally, our agenda, it wasn't aligned.
Now, with all that being said, Kanye would of course depart the Gap in September of 2022, which is to the benefit of the fans, I would say, because now we have this collection available for a cool $20. And I have to say, it's honestly quite wild to watch that clip back today and see that the Gap gave Kanye such a hard time for their collaboration, especially given that he had already proven himself with his very successful Yeezy Empire and collab with Adidas. But like he closes off Vultures Volume 1, he's still the king, and I would say the numbers have been speaking for themselves. So if you're just as hype as I am for these upcoming Vultures Volumes 2 and 3, as well as the upcoming solo album, let me know in the comments.
Just hold on, I'm going home.
Now, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching, and let me know what you guys think about this one in the comments. Like I mentioned, unfortunately, this $20 Yeezy Gap collection is currently not available in North America, but as soon as we get some updates, I'll of course let you guys know, so you might as well hit that subscribe button for the latest. And as always, thank you for cooking with the kitchen. Remember to stay safe out there, and remember, it's lit straight up, and peace.